All right, boys, we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, I should actually say we have an extra guest here today just to help introduce a beer for us.
She was the one who picked it today, so we got to hear her thought process on Pat's fear and why she picked the beer.
Okay, I think this is going to be a good intro. We haven't done anything like this before, and it's good because we took last week off.
Yeah,
because I had to go and leave for Colorado, and I was
you had a rough job out there.
It was a lot of beer. I was hungover for like 3 days. This was officially the longest hangover I think I've ever had. This is the first beer that I've had since Sunday.
Oh Jesus, man!
Not even like a good after work, calm down beer or anything like that. It was.
It's Thursday.
It was rough, dude. It was rough, man. We had so much beer. We never stopped. But we did a tour, man. We went to Boulder. We went to Fort Collins. We went to Denver. It was a lot of great beer. Really bad hangover.
Oh man!
But enough about me, Derek.
Yes.
Enough about me.
Yeah.
We've got a really great guest today.
Someone super duper special here.
Absolutely. I'm excited to have him.
Yep. He's an author. He's a beer writer.
I can see his book actually right behind
him. Yep. We'll talk about that a little later.
As much as he doesn't want to talk about it, I think we're going to have to talk about it.
Oh, we will.
All right. So should we just let this bad boy roll?
Let's do it.
Hi, my name's Stu Hawk, and this is my podcast about all the weird, crazy, spooky things that scare me and my guests, and the one thing that helps us forget all about them. Ladies and gentlemen, beer freaks. And we're back.
We're back, guys.
From that beautiful intro that I cut together drunkenly one night. And
I love it.
We still got to add your name to it.
But see, I don't want to because I love it so much.
Well, you know what? Literally not change it and just add your name to it.
Yeah, it could be like, I'm Stu and Dirk. Just go to the rest.
That would be a fantastic way to do it. That would be fantastic.
All right, but we got to get into our guest
Yes,
here.
let's do it.
We have to.
I'll let you introduce him because you know him.
All right, yeah. So actually, I met this guy. He was my professor in college, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a sports class. It was about sports writing. But the cool thing I found out was he was a big beer writer, like just drinks in general, I think, right?
Or drinks in general.
Drinks in general. And so I was like, okay, this guy's pretty cool, like
drinks and sports. I mean, how can you go wrong?
Yeah,
it's a good mix. I will say that.
Yeah. So Pat, introduce yourself, buddy.
Yeah, my name's Pat Evans. I'm currently a staff writer at Front Office Sports, which is all sports, which is why I was teaching your sports media class. Still do at UNLV.
Nice.
But yeah, previously, before Front Office Sports, I wrote almost exclusively about food and beverage, mostly spirits and beer, including 2 books, Grand Rapids Beer, which is where I'm from, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Great town for beer.
Beautiful, yeah.
Founders Brewing Company is based there.
Absolutely.
And then I wrote Nevada Beer because I moved to Nevada.
Which we have here.
Yes.
It's beautiful. I have it in my hands. It smells great. It's still fresh because I haven't read it yet, and I feel bad.
Derek.
But he signed it for me and everything, guys.
Oh, boy. That's a special book, then.
Yep.
He was one of the better students that semester.
Why don't I believe that? I don't feel like that's,
Well, it was all virtual, so.
Yeah, because it went all virtual in the middle of the pandemic, or at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, so this was literally like last semester?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep.
And so it shifted, and then nobody cared to, what was it? 8 people would show up?
Yeah, that's it. It was just like a consistent...
And it was supposed to be a 33-person class, and only 8 people would come. Cool. So anyway, I read about sports and beverages.
Which is
fantastic.
The best thing.
I have a whole closet full of booze at home because I get sent so much booze.
Yeah, this guy shows up to my door, and this is what I love. If anybody wants to show up to my door, please do this. He showed up, and he had this bottle of barrel finished in American oak barrels, American dry gin, which is awesome because I love gin. I love Ryan Reynolds gin,
France.
Gin. Yeah, he just brought a bottle.
Let me see that.
It's amazing.
Incredible. That's very nice.
Yeah,
that's
Jesus.
That's what this show's
No,
all
it's from
about.
Philadelphia, not France. Very different place.
Well, we're trying that tonight. That's gotta happen.
You've never heard of Philadelphia, France? That's where the name came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
The United States.
You're a teacher? Come on. No.
Wow.
Cool. So yeah, we got a good guest.
So what got you into, sports writing and spirits and beer writing?
Well,
what was it that
when I was in high school, I wanted to be a sports writer.
Okay.
And I went to college, wrote about sports, realized I didn't really like writing about games.
Okay.
Just because you get a bunch of cliches and it's just the same.
How many puns can you get into one column?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, you win and you lose, and there's only so many ways to spin those for, I'm in awe of the writers who are able to do that for 60 years. Who cover the same team and just are able to do that.
Yeah.
So then I ended up graduating and worked at the Grand Rapids Business Journal, which is where I ended up writing about beer, is because I drank a lot of beer in college, but Grand Rapids was founders. There's a huge business there. Yeah. So I started writing about the business of beer. And then when my girlfriend got a job at the Vegas Golden Knights, we moved out here. And I went full-time freelance and decided, well, what can I freelance best about? Booze.
The booze scene of Las Vegas.
No, just in general, the national.
Just okay.
I was going all over.
Oh, fair enough.
Press trips are great.
Paid beer trips, paid alcohol trips.
This guy was living the life that we want to live.
Well, exactly.
He's already lived it.
That's what I was saying. This is what this podcast is about. Free drinks.
And
We're never going to make money on this thing, but a few free beers every now and then.
You never know, man.
Don't sell yourself short.
You never know, dude.
You never know. You never know.
We could be those guys.
We could.
You're the drinking podcast.
We're the next Joe Rogan.
Well,
obviously.
Of
20 million a year? Is that what it is?
Jesus.
Yeah.
God,
it's ridiculous.
Dude. It's insane.
It's absolutely insane.
Hey, how's your pregame beers, guys?
I'm almost done.
Empty? Oh, Jesus. Let me
finished
know.
my coffee, too. So.
Oh, good. Gee, man. You're going to be... this is going to be a good night. All right. So, we got to get into a sphere, dude.
Yes.
We got to hear this.
Let's get into it. We've gotten his background.
Yep.
I'm very intrigued. I want to learn a lot more, but my pregame beer is empty. So
we got to do that first. We can't talk about fear without a beer.
Now, Derek, this is where we turn the music low, okay? Because this is where it gets a little. We got to get to the spooky side of the podcast.
We do.
Okay. So Pat, we got to ask you before we get into the fun part. Before we get into the beer, you got to tease us with a little bit of what is your greatest fear.
Well, I catastrophize. That's
What is
terrifying.
that? Okay.
Catastrophize. Is 2020 an entire catastrophization?
Jesus.
Yes. Yes, it is.
What
Basically, no matter what, I imagine the worst. So, like, for instance, when I was a kid, and it goes that far back, like, even if it was just as simple as me and my brother wrestling, like, I would imagine me, who was 8 years younger, flipping him into, like, the glass fireplace doors.
Sure.
Yeah.
And, like,
Just
impaling himself and
Whoa.
murdering your brother.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
by accident.
Yes.
Because that was the worst outcome that could happen.
Good Lord.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
That's got to be rough.
It is.
Holy
I
crap.
Okay.
We need some
think we can
beers
get
for
into
this one. Yeah.
We can get into this one.
All right.
Okay, so now...
All right. So we have a guest. We have a beautiful young lady who picked these beers tonight.
Is this Vanna? Is this our Vanna
This
for...
is our Vanna.
Yes.
So she's going to tell us why she picked these beers for Pat's fear.
Fantastic.
So here we go.
So, Pat, when I heard about your fear, I could relate to it. I definitely understand about the fear of thinking of the worst case scenario. So I went to our local liquor store and I went to find a beer to match with Pat's fear. And this is difficult. I can relate to his fear. So I'm walking, and I can't find anything that speaks to me. So then I change my mindset. I'm like, okay, how can I cure this fear? I want to cure the fear.
Oh, interesting.
So I want you to look at your beers.
Okay.
Pat, what's the name of your beer?
Willy Time White Ale.
Okay. Can you guys make a guess on how to cure the fear?
I'm... Is it like Free Willy? Because Willy Time to me is not... I don't know how to describe my instant reaction without getting graphically detailed. I'm excited to try it.
Yes,
Pat,
I'm
Yes,
excited.
that's exactly it.
this
You know,
is-
grab your
I've never had
willies
this one.
and cure your fear.
Oh, jeez. Oh, I love the sound of that cracking of the beer. And Ashley, what a great introduction. By the
That
way.
was excellent.
That was fantastic.
That was great.
What a good story, like a good build up. And then now there's like a bit of mystery. You left us with a cliffhanger. I'm a little I don't even like want to talk about anything else. I want to know what the second
There's a
beer
very
is.
graphic peach on the label.
She's
I didn't even notice the peach, to be honest. I don't know what that
That-
says about me, but yeah, but now I see it. Yeah. As soon as you said it, by the way, this is a good San Diego. I've never had this particular beer, but Mason Aleworks.
Mason Aleworks is great.
It's a good San Diego brewery.
You know,
San Diego guy.
in the day of hazy IPAs, this is a gorgeous beer.
So white ale. Okay.
I like a good white ale.
This is-
Avery's white ale is really good.
Yeah.
White rat.
White rascal.
White
rascal.
White rascal.
I
Talking hard.
By the way, I had the white rascal this weekend.
Oh,
In,
so good.
Is,
That's right. It's
is
Colorado,
Avery Boulder or
Boulder, I believe.
Yeah. Because I went to Boulder and Fort Collins, so I kind of forget which
dude.
breweries were in which town, to be totally honest. But yeah, this is actually really good.
Oh, I spilled. I'm sorry. Do you have napkins?
Yeah, you're fine. Right here.
I'm just going to shake it off.
Shake like Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. Derek was calling her my wife. I was calling her my girlfriend earlier. She's
Oh,
my
yeah,
fiance.
She's okay, cool. Oh,
We got engaged
congrats,
actually
dude.
last Sunday.
Dude,
That's badass. Holy crap.
Had to drop that, so she'll be happy.
Cool, man. How'd you do it? How'd you do it?
We were back in Michigan.
Okay.
At Michigan State where we met, and I didn't really have a plan. I was just carrying the ring around, just like because we've been together for 9 years, so it was like
Yeah.
it's gonna. And we had talked about like maybe now's the time to make 2020 okay. I guess I don't know.
one positive.
Right.
One
And so we were walking around campus, and it was just in my pocket. And at one point, she was like, "This is my favorite bridge on campus," and that's not what her voice sounds like, but
beautiful though.
That is gorgeous, yeah.
And we had our dog with us, Lenny, and she was like, "Let's take a picture." So we bent down with Lenny because she's a little mini
Oh,
labradoodle.
dude. So
Took
you're
a
right
picture
there for
on
the
her
knee.
favorite bridge on the Red Cedar River in East Lansing with awesome fall colors behind us.
Nice.
Yeah. And she got up and I didn't, and there you go.
Dude.
It was money.
That wasn't planned. It
That's
It
just
wasn't
sounded
planned.
like,
It was just like I was just like I've got it in my pocket for when, when
Dude.
it happens.
Well
That's
done.
guys. So you
Congrats.
kept it in your pocket all the time, just in case for the right time.
I mean, I knew I was going to do it in Michigan.
Okay.
But I didn't know because her family's in Detroit, my family's in Grand Rapids, so we were driving from her family to my family before going back to her family.
Oh, so that would have
So
been
we were
perfect.
in Michigan
yeah.
for 10 days,
Yeah.
and so I was like, well, it's a good time to do it. It's in East Lansing where we met.
Yeah. No, that's killer,
Fall
man.
colors, so.
Is it how like nervous were you though?
Not
Were
at
you
all.
Not at all. Okay. Well, I guess because you were just you kind of just did
and
it out of
that's what surprised her. She's like,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to be like I thought I would be able to tell because you were getting nervous, and
yeah.
she can tell when I'm nervous.
yeah.
But because I didn't know when I was going to do it,
It was so you kept it away from your head. It was separated mentally. You never brought
Right.
it in like this is the moment that I'm going to do it.
right?
So this is actually perfect to get into your fear.
Yes. Okay.
Because
Great segue.
yeah,
Well
dude.
done.
Because here's the thing. So you weren't nervous at all.
No.
But your fear is thinking kind of worst case scenario for everything.
Maybe that's why you didn't plan it.
Right? So
That is probably why I didn't plan it.
so let's get into this. So tell us about this fear.
So I mean, for instance, like I took a back road here, not back road. It was Blue Diamond Highway.
Yeah.
But
Are
I
you-
took
are
it
you-
rather than the
Are
highway.
you west side? Are you north
Yeah,
side?
so I would have had to go
So you're west
215
side.
to 15.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Which would have been a hell of a lot faster.
Yeah, Blue
It would have
Blue
been a lot
Diamond.
faster,
Blue
but
Diamond
I
takes a
don't like
long
driving
time.
on the highway at night
Okay.
because I think I'm going to get in an accident.
yeah.
But wouldn't it be, well, you know what? I totally understand because your mind can just take you to anywhere, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the odds of actually getting into an accident are probably higher.
Oh,
on,
100%.
Like on street
100%.
rather than highway. It's just a little slower.
But like also,
Slower accident.
and I think this
death.
is probably a thought a lot of people have too. But like when you're driving and there's people coming down the other way,
Yeah.
like, do you ever think like, no, I can't swerve into that traffic because there's a divider. But I'm just talking about the little yellow lines,
Yeah.
which there aren't really in
That's-
Michigan, but
that's
or in Nevada, where aren't we? But yeah.
So these are the kinds of things that cross your mind. Like what else? I mean, I'd love to hear some more examples because I have these thoughts, by the way, and I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Totally. I'm really curious.
I think so. Even as simple as like working, and maybe this is normal too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, whenever I put out an article, rather than thinking this is awesome, I know I'm going to get a lot of like awesome feedback. I go to bed and then can't sleep because I'm worried that there's an error in it.
Oh,
and that's really. I mean, that's probably pretty common too. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel that's a pretty common one, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
but if it's
but rather than relishing in a little bit of a celebration, you're kind of like, well, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Right now. Like, or
even,
it could be
even
could
really
be terrible.
simple articles that should never even be a worry.
Yeah.
There are.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you one of mine. Okay. Just so you can think about some more because I have a feeling you've got a lot, and so do I actually. But so for me, my wife was out of town, as I told you guys, in Denver for the last couple of nights on a work trip that she turned into a nice brewery tour. So well done, babe.
Heck
well
yeah.
done.
Good work.
I was alone with our 3-year-old for a few nights, and when I go to bed, the thing that I am terrified of is that at some point in the night, my son is going to get out of bed and walk out the front door and go somewhere. And so there's a couple of things here why this doesn't make any sense. A, he's never done this. He's never walked out the front door without mommy or daddy ever.
Yeah.
Not a single time, daytime or nighttime. B, we have the security alarm. So if it happened, the security alarm would go off. And C, the kid sleeps through the night almost every night. So there's no reason why this worry should be in my head. So it's just one of those things where like I can totally empathize because my brain can also go to like worst case scenario. What is like the worst thing that could happen right now? Mm-hmm. And it's like all of a sudden it becomes a lot more likely that that's actually going to be the case.
Well, and to that, like whenever I leave the house or leave Alyssa, or if she's out, like I'm afraid she's either going to get kidnapped or murdered.
Yeah.
Or because I've read true crime stories where like,
sure,
there's that one, I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, like there's a guy like up in his office with his headphones on, and so like if she's home, I don't run with headphones on my treadmill or work with headphones on, because like I've read it where like this guy's wife was getting raped in the basement and he didn't
just,
know,
like, working out upstairs,
and he was just working out.
Holy
yeah
cow.
And so then that's where my thing goes. Or if like even just as simple as her going to work on a Tuesday, because she goes into the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays with COVID and all that jazz. Yeah. I'm worried she's getting into a car accident. Until she gets home, and vice versa, if I'm out and worried she's getting killed, until I get home, I'm freaking out.
Wow.
So like right now,
yeah, you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Is she home?
She is home.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Well,
she just sent me pictures with her and Lenny on her lap. And,
perfect.
So I'm like,
so
this
she's
is great.
good.
So does she like just check in every now and then just to help you
No,
mentally
she doesn't
cope
know.
with this?
She'll listen to this and be like, oh.
She just learned a lot about you.
Honey.
And she'll be like freaked out and be like, well, we're not getting married anymore.
Yeah, dude.
or it's really sweet.
See, right there.
Yeah.
But
You just went to the worst case scenario.
Because
whereas it could have been, oh, that's sweet. He cares so much about me.
Yeah.
And you took it to,
right.
So
it's not necessarily like really bad. It's just something as simple as that is like, rather than going good, I went bad.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be hard to deal with. You know what I mean? Like, on a daily basis, though, I was thinking that way. No?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like,
Yeah.
But no, what is it? So, I mean, like, mental health is a big thing.
Absolutely.
Like, I go to therapy, and my
you
therapist...
spend too much time with me. That's your problem.
Yeah, that's probably it.
You talk a lot to the therapist.
But no, the coolest thing that he said is like, like stress and worry is when you're thinking about the future, right? Mm. Then he says something about the past. I don't remember it all. I remember that specifically because I do the same. I think we all do the same thing, just depending on the extent of it. But yeah, like my big thing is planes. Oh, like I'm there with you. Like Like, I like getting to the airport at least, like 2 hours early. I love being there.
I love going to airport bars.
Yes.
I
go to the bar.
Drink.
I have a few drinks. I feel a lot better. I feel so much better. But still, I get on the plane. I'm like, if this fucking thing crashes, man. Like, am I in a good seat? Like, do the wing seats?
Am I going to
like,
need this floaty? Better? Am I flying over water?
Like, where's my floaty? Yeah. Like, I totally feel you on that. Because I think it goes down to like if I'm not in control of the situation.
Yes.
Like,
but
I'm
even
not-
if I'm in control, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
See, yeah, like I'm not flying the plane, so but if I'm driving, I feel fine because like I know I'm in control. And if something like as far as like if I see something coming at me,
You can swerve out of the way.
I can, I have control of it. If a freaking plane, you know what I
Sure.
mean? Like there's no control there.
Sure.
I have
Do you
no
guys-
idea.
So, for instance, I'm talking about this, and I know I'm going to drive home in a little bit. Like,
On the freeway.
no, I'll take Blue Diamond.
You're gonna take Blue Diamond?
All right, man.
It's a beautiful drive.
Hey,
It is.
we'll
It's
all
nice.
ride together one day on the freeway at night. How's that?
Oh,
That
We'll
may
pump
make-
you up.
Maybe that'll
We'll
make
pump
me feel
you up.
better.
Me and Stu
But
will
like,
be
I'm
in the back
imagining getting
seat.
into a car accident, like on the way home from this,
Well, I mean, eventually,
and it could happen.
I mean, eventually,
totally could.
Eventually, statistically, something bad that you imagine will happen, but hopefully, it's not like the worst things that you.
Why
think
would you say
about.
that?
Yeah.
Like eventually, you might get into a car accident, but most people don't die in car accidents these
Yeah,
days. They're built
that's
pretty
true.
well.
They don't.
You know, they're built pretty well.
I drive a
Cool.
Volkswagen. That's pretty safe, right?
The Volkswagen's
hell
like
yeah.
the safest one.
Volkswagens are great.
Yeah.
yeah.
And by the way,
COVID
Derek,
kills more people.
Derek, I just want to tell you,
I just threw that out there.
I just want to tell
Probably
you, the phrase you were looking for
Yeah.
was from Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, what was it?
The past is history.
Yeah.
The future is a mystery.
Oh, I like that.
But right now is a gift.
It
That's
is.
why they call it the present.
Oh, that was really good. We got to give it up. We got to give it up to that. That was great.
That literally is
Jesus.
from Kung Fu Panda, by the way. Though.
Man.
I have to watch a lot of these movies now with my 3-year-old.
Yeah. But
You
you,
don't
know
have
what?
to
They're really
blame it
good.
on your 3-year-old.
Actually, you know what? I probably did watch it before the 3-year-old.
But dude, they slip in adult stuff.
They
'Cause
do.
They know
Fun.
adults.
I do actually
Obviously, I
really
have to
like
watch
that
it.
statement, though. I really,
Yeah?
that's why it resonated with me.
But it's true though. I mean, like, every day that we wake up is a fucking amazing day.
Yeah. Well, let's throw out
Is
some
it?
other
They
examples.
don't hurt you.
Right?
Let's throw out some other, because these are kind of fun. Like,
Yeah.
how do you turn a regular, normal scenario into like the worst case scenario?
A lot of them involve car crashes.
Okay.
Car crashes.
So
are
if you
the
had to
center.
drive
I
to the
just
grocery
don't like
store?
driving.
What
I guess.
what about airplanes? Like, do you have the same thing as for airplanes that Derek does?
Yes.
Okay.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time I fly, I'm like, well, this
So
could be my last flight.
So that's why you go to the airport bar
Which
first.
statistically, airplanes are safer than cars.
Safe
Way
as hell.
safer, yeah.
Safe as hell.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless you're in Harrison Ford's airplane, and then
Well,
you know.
yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm thinking the worst of it.
Well, yes, you are. So we're back to the fear. Yes, that's a perfect roundabout
That's
way
great,
to
yeah.
actually have
Come
our
back.
next beer. By the way,
Yeah, I love it.
because
I'm
I'm
gonna
almost
get
out of mine.
I'm gonna get Ashley down here to explain
Fantastic.
the other half.
The first can was called Willy Time. So, Pat, your fear was the fear of fearing fear itself and fearing all sorts of things that might happen. Does that sum it up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And I can relate to that fear, so I definitely understand. So, the first beer was to cure the fear of, fear itself with some Willy Time. Hence the name of the beer. And now we have a new beer called Syntax. And how does that beer look to you guys?
Much better than the Willy time. So we've got a lady with devil horns, and she's got
What is the horns? Yeah.
yeah. She's got some handcuffs. She's got some lingerie on.
So you know what's sad about this is my fiance watches a lot of Friends. My first thought is the episode where they find the handcuffs in the closet, and
Was it Monica's closet?
they thought it was Monica's, then Rachel's, then Phoebe's, but it was actually Monica's grandma's or something.
Oh Jesus! No bueno.
Well, this beer is called Syntax. So, in order to cure Pat's fear, ooh, this is getting a little dirty now. You want some Willy Time, followed by some sinful pleasures afterwards.
Jeez. Oh boy. Oh, well done.
All right.
Well done.
So that is my
The
selection.
story continues and it wraps up nicely. Well done, Ashley.
That was great.
That
You're
was
welcome,
fantastic.
guys.
We
You're
need you.
welcome.
We need you to pick the beer. I think for every show. Can we start? Can we
Oh,
start?
You gotta
doing
pay her,
this?
though.
I can do that.
No, you gotta negotiate and get
No, it's
money.
too late.
Oh, let
It's
me
too late.
take it back.
She already said yes.
I'm a negotiate. Well, what am I going to get out of this? You guys get free beer. What can I get?
Leggings. That was what we were
Oh,
talking
perfect,
about
okay.
before.
Your
Right?
own free Willy Time.
That's a given. We're married.
Hey, by the way, so I look at this beer and it's got a QR code on it.
This
And I just wonder, like, before we get into like actually tasting this beer, does anyone ever actually scan the fucking QR code on a box of anything?
I like seeing what
I'm going to go real deep into this in a minute.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm interested.
But as I'm holding this right now, this little bit in the red can and this little bit of beer right here makes it look like a soda, like a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, it
or
looks like a Coke or a Dr. Pepper.
It looks like a Dr. Pepper.
No,
beer.
right, but look at this liquid on the lip. You can't see it from there. You got to come over here.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You see the little, leaves a little residue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, that totally looks like a root beer.
Like a root beer
Yeah.
or a Dr. Pepper.
So you're talking about the color of the beer. Is that
Yeah.
what we're really getting into here?
Which one is yours?
Well, I don't know. I'm just drinking it.
All right, you guys ready to try it?
Oh, so going back to, we can try it. Before I was going to talk about QR codes, which does not sound like a fun conversation topic.
Welcome to Marketing 101, ladies and gentlemen.
We go from Willie's and sinful to marketing. Hey,
Willie's
let's try
and
it, though.
syntax.
Cheers.
cheers, guys.
Well done for Ashley, by the way.
yeah.
We need
No,
your wife
she's
on the
great.
show more often. Cheers, boys. That's pretty
So-
good.
Oh, dude, I love that
pretty
one.
good.
So I have
That's nice.
I have a
is
lot
that-
of peanut butter.
Is that 8.1 or 5.1?
5.1, I think.
I have a lot of peanut butter porter feelings
I think
because
it's 8.1.
Oh my god, it is 8.1.
when I lived in
Yeah.
Grand Rapids, I worked at a brewery called Minton Brewing Company
Oh,
because Michigan is shaped like a mitten.
Yep.
Cool.
Well done. Well done, Mitten.
Yeah, but they're also baseball themed.
okay.
brewery.
Ooh,
Detroit Tigers, lots of baseball paraphernalia.
I like it.
But they have a peanut butter porter called Peanuts and Cracker Jack,
Nice.
and it is
Dig it.
one of the best beers I've ever had.
Does it straight up taste like peanut butter?
It does.
Cracker Jacks.
And I've watched it being brewed, and they put both.
Hops? Cracker Jack? Water?
No, it's peanut butter, but it's fake. It's not artificial. I mean,
Almond
it is
butter?
artificial.
Jiffy?
Almond butter?
No, but they put like tons
Nutella?
and tons of real peanut butter in it and real peanuts, but they also put some fake peanut butter flavoring in
Okay.
there. But it actually tastes like peanut butter.
Whoa.
And where this doesn't really.
No,
This doesn't have as
taste
much
like any
peanut
peanut butter to
Yeah.
me.
Right.
Yeah.
And
like-
and it says peanut butter porter, so like when I tasted it, or peanut butter stout, I was expecting peanut butter.
like Left Hand, I think does a really good peanut butter.
Yeah.
Belching Beaver does a really good peanut butter.
And Belgian Beavers is very good.
Yeah, Belching Beaver is really good. But Belching Beaver has come out, by the way, with like one of my favorite IPAs of all time.
Really?
With Phantom Bride. Have you tried Phantom
I
Bride?
have not.
I highly recommend
try
it
it
when
while
you
my
get a
hand's
chance.
slipping up.
Black can, interesting artwork. Really, really good. Mostly comes in the 16ers.
Okay.
Yeah, I love
Highly
Belching
recommend.
Beaver, man.
Yeah.
They make that peanut butter.
So anyway,
Jesus.
But so do they distribute peanuts and Cracker Jacks?
In Michigan, yes.
But not outside.
Not outside.
Bummer.
But you can buy it, I believe. Well, not this year because there weren't fans at the stadium, but you can buy it, I believe. Correct. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. If it's one of the 50 people that listen
Or
to this,
four
They'll call
fans who listen to us 10 times each.
that it is available at Comerica Park, where
Okay.
the Tigers play.
Oh, rock and roll.
See, that's pretty cool.
So this can has a QR code, which is, and to your point,
Let's see what it does.
I was just
Do it, do it,
listening
do it.
to, I don't know if you guys listen to Marketplace on NPR.
Yeah.
Kai Risdall's like my man.
Kai.
Crush. I love
Dude,
Kai.
Love Kai.
Greatest dude ever. You should have him on this podcast.
Kai, if you're listening, if you're one of the 5 people who listen to us, join it.
Anyway, it was this morning or yesterday morning that I was listening to Marketplace with Kai Risdall. And they were talking about QR codes and like marketing and like how like marketers think they're trying to be all tech savvy and they just send it to the website. So there you go.
That's the problem. So that's my exact point. QR codes have made this giant resurgence because
Yeah.
now you can just use your camera on it, and
Yeah, it's perfect.
it's great. But that was my whole point. So like if it just takes you to your website, like,
What are you doing?
well, just send me to www.mason or motherearthbrewing.com. Like that's fine.
They should send
Like, you
us
don't
to
need to-
this beer.
Like
me-
you're
give me
just
some
putting
op-
it on there.
Well, give me an augmented reality, man.
Right.
Yeah,
Like, dude,
hell yeah.
It's not hard to do these days.
it's
Go to
not.
blippar.ar. Dude, those are the guys who know how to do augmented reality, and you can, if you have basic graphic design skills, you can now do augmented reality.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, their point was like you're just putting it on the label to look like you're tech savvy.
Look cool. To look cool.
But
Yeah.
like their other point was like people also put it where it doesn't make sense, like in a subway where you can't get close enough to use it, and it's like, why is that there?
yeah. Not helpful.
I don't know. But I love Kai Ryssdal. Kai Ryssdal's great.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad he had that opinion because I have the exact same one. Kai, you and I are simpatico. When you're
I don't
ready
know
to
if it
come
was
on the
his
show,
opinion. I think it was just a story that they did, and that was like the outcome.
are you trying to separate Kai and I?
Yes.
And our
Yes,
idealisms?
because I want Kai.
Look, when we have Kai on the show, we'll invite you back. It
Yes.
can be the four of us.
Cool.
Okay.
I need to get smarter.
Kai,
So
your people
Hey,
can talk
hey.
to our people, and we'll figure this out.
I'm just trying to find ways to come back and drink, so you can have me and my fiance on.
See, the coolest thing about doing it is like this, right?
Yes.
You just have a good time. You know,
Yep.
you shoot the shit with people. You have some drinks, like, and it's a
It doesn't
consistent.
matter
Like,
if people really listen.
I mean,
It's
you
just
know, it's
us three
nice.
having a fun time.
It's
But
exactly
it's,
right.
I mean, it's
a
nice
byproduct.
to know people are listening.
But
But
the listeners are a byproduct. Not
Yeah.
that we don't love you guys,
yeah,
Mom. We,
I don't
but
know
you're
if
right.
my mom's going to listen to this.
we're gonna
Careful
make
what
her.
you say.
Yeah,
Well, no, I mean,
Gonna
this
make it
is
happen.
the conversation we had with Brian, though. It's
Yeah.
like literally actually the coolest part about what we've done over the last couple of weeks or however long we've been doing it now.
yep,
Like, we've had some awesome conversations with some really interesting
Mm-hmm.
people. I mean, just like from all across the map. We've had
Yep.
brewers. We had Brian, who does like beer events. We had a PhD who knew a shit ton about COVID.
yep.
We've got you, who's an author and a beer expert and a professor and
Mm-hmm.
a writer. I mean, we've had some really interesting folks on. You know,
Yep. And the cool thing is you start to kind of see this trend. I mean, everybody's afraid of something,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it's fun to talk about. And then, you know, when people talk about it, you're like, oh my God, like I'm kind of feeling on that,
Yeah.
right? So you kind of figure out you're all kind of in the same boat together, which is cool.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things about my career is I just talk to a bunch of people. And,
Well, it's-
like I was talking to Channing Frye about his former NBA player about his wine brand that he started, and we're just shooting the shit about wine.
Just talking shit.
How freaking
And
cool,
he's
dude.
awesome. And like I was like, I wanted to be respectful of his time because like you're a former NBA player, you got things to do.
Yeah.
And he's just like kept talking to me, and I'm like, well, this is great.
Clearly enjoying
You got to
your
cut
company.
him off. You're a professor.
Right.
You got shit to do, man.
Right. Yeah. don't downplay yourself. Like,
Yeah, dude.
Look, man, I know you used to be in the NBA, but look, I got things to do. Okay. But no,
I
I mean,
love it.
like the other thing too that I think we also talked about with a couple of our past guests is like the thing that's actually really reassuring about all these conversations, because we brought people from all across the board.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you watch the news and it feels like everyone's so pissed off at each other all the time.
Yeah.
Everyone's so mad at each other. I mean, hell, even go to your like Facebook page and like there's constant political arguments about whatever. And like what you realize when you just talk to like random people is like actually most people are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like
people.
most people, like not everyone, of course, you know, but like most people are pretty good. And you kind of agree on most things. And the things that you do disagree on when you're not on Facebook or, you know, Twitter, you actually can like have a reasonable discourse. Or you just say, look, I'm not going to talk to you about that. That's
yeah,
fine.
but like I miss the days of like elementary school and middle school of you don't talk about politics.
Yeah.
But that's bad too.
Yeah.
But I miss the days of not worrying about
Yeah.
who's who, and I mean the world's so divided now that it's messed up. But see,
the
there's a
Expo.
lot of people who think this is either the end of America or like American democracy or whatever. But I also think it could be good for America in that it's getting a lot of more people active and thinking about politics and involved in politics.
Hold
Like
on, look
this
at this.
year's-
Hold on, look at this. Positive thinking right here. Look at this.
Well, I was a political science major.
we just tweaked his fear.
I
He
was
just
a
went to a positive
Well
side.
done. Derek, high five, man.
You just went to a positive side.
Hey, high five. Don't leave me hanging
Look at
over
that.
here, man. Well done.
Look at that.
Maybe you cured me.
buddy.
That's a
breakthrough.
Look at
maybe
that.
you cured me.
That is a
Boom.
breakthrough.
So maybe it's changing America for the better.
Now he's bringing it back.
No,
God damn
but
it.
maybe it's changing America for the better. Maybe we're getting more active. Like this year probably could be a record voter turnout. Like maybe people are going to be more educated in politics and everything. Or not.
Here's a question for you. If you don't feel like you know enough to vote, should you vote? Or should you just put in a vote? Because, you know, well, you got to vote.
You need to at least educate yourself
Yes.
on the fundamentally you should educate yourself on president, your representative, your senator at both your reps and senators at both state and national levels.
Yeah.
Beyond that, like there were judges and stuff I didn't vote for because I'm like, I don't know the differences between them. So I left them blank.
Yeah.
But I think so. You ask a good question though, right? Like, it seems pretty self-explanatory,
Right?
Right? Like you shouldn't just fill in someone's name on a ballot just because they have a D or an R next to them. If you know nothing about them,
Yeah.
Right.
Why
still
would you vote?
probably shouldn't just do it.
Yeah.
You know. Well, boys, it's been a hell of a conversation.
Yes. We had some good beer.
I hope I
We had
didn't
a
make
good
it go
fear.
too long.
No. We had a great
It
fear.
was great fear, great conversation, great beer. Thanks to your wife.
Yeah, I know.
Great selection.
those are great
rocked it
selections.
Good
out.
story.
Yep.
Willie Time
Yeah.
by Mason Aleworks and Syntax by Mother Earth Brew Co.
Which Mother Earth has
Imperial
amazing
peanut
stuff.
butter stout.
I love their creamsicle.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
so good.
one more time, Pat, we just want the audience to know, just to give you a little bit of gravity here, because we know you're a professor, we know you're a writer, but you also wrote a great book about beer here in Nevada. So can you tell us just a quick blurb about it and
Yes.
also where they can get it?
It's Nevada beer. It's all about the history of Nevada beer.
Fantastic.
Weird.
Nice.
That's it.
Very
Really-
searchable.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon.
Love it.
And I've seen it at Barnes & Noble.
Ooh.
Every time I see my book on a shelf, I'm like, hey, that's my book.
That's pretty rad.
pretty
That's got to be pretty
badass,
cool to
dude.
see.
Pretty cool.
That's got to be
way
pretty cool to see.
cool.
And if enough people write into this podcast, Pat will do an audible version of this.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I get like 3 people who say, I won't read it, but I'll listen to
But
it,
we already have 2.
do-
Derek and I are on it.
Perfect.
So we only need 1.
I'll tell Joel, my neighbor, who will come on this podcast, to write in, and that's 3, and then I'll have to do it.
And when that happens, we're doing it live on air.
Yes, we're going to do a live reading of the show, and that'll be the audible version of this book.
Perfect.
All right, that sounds good.
Sounds like an 8-hour project.
Yeah. Oh, God.
So we'll start early on a Saturday.
Yeah, depending on how fast you read.
Yeah, we might need to start with like mimosas or something.
Oh, fuck. I'd love a good mimosa.
And then by the end of the book, you'll be
I'm
really
slow on my words.
Which is going to be
just
the
fantastic
most
for the
perfect-
listener.
Dude, they need to do more books like that. Could
They
you
should.
imagine? But anyway, dude, Pat, thank you so much for coming on, man. This was great.
No, thank you.
Like, amazing.
I'll come
And-
back anytime.
oh my
and I'll bring
God.
cool people, like my fiance and my
love it.
neighbor.
Yes.
You know what we
Which
didn't
sounds
do?
like a really not cool people to bring on. But
Yeah, but you've already given us the background, so
Yeah.
we know they sound like cool
know it's
people.
gonna
We
be
want them on. We want them on, and we want you back because this was great conversation.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Pat.
We will talk to you later. Thanks, Pat.
Cheers, boys. We'll be seeing you.